Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're digging deep into the past, way back before written history, to uncover a story about a simple mineral that shaped the course of an entire continent. We're not talking about gold or silver, but something far more valuable to our ancestors, salt. It might sound mundane, but the quest for this white gold was a driving force behind trade, technology, and the rise of powerful communities across prehistoric Europe. So grab your virtual pickaxe and let's journey back in time to explore how ancient salt mining changed everything. Our story begins thousands of years ago, long before the Romans built their famous salt roads. For early hunter-gatherers, getting enough salt wasn't a huge issue. Their diet, rich in meat, provided the necessary sodium. But as the Neolithic Revolution swept across Europe and people began farming and settling down, their diets changed dramatically. A plant-based diet is naturally low in sodium, and suddenly humans needed to find an external source of salt. It wasn't just for taste. Salt was essential for survival. It helped preserve food, especially meat and fish, through the long, harsh winters. It was crucial for tanning hides to make clothing and shelter, and it was vital for the health of both humans and their precious livestock. Suddenly, a reliable source of salt became the most valuable resource a community could possess. So, how did they get it? The earliest methods were simple. Coastal communities would evaporate seawater in shallow pools, a process known as solar salt production. But what about communities far inland? This is where ingenuity truly shines. Inland Europeans discovered natural salt springs and brine wells. They developed a technique called briquettage, where they would boil the salty water in special ceramic pots over a fire. Once the water evaporated, the salt crystals would be left behind, often forming a solid cake in the shape of the pot. These salt cakes could then be easily stored and transported. Archaeologists have found massive deposits of broken pottery fragments at these ancient salt works, giving us a glimpse into the industrial scale of these operations even thousands of years ago. But the real game changer was the discovery of rock salt, or halite, buried deep within the earth. This led to the birth of salt mining. And when we talk about prehistoric salt mining, one place stands above all others: Hallstatt, in modern-day Austria. The name itself, Hallstatt, is believed to derive from Old Celtic words meaning place of salt. Nestled in the Austrian Alps, the mountains here hold some of the richest salt deposits in Europe. Mining here began as early as the Bronze Age, around 1500 BC. Imagine the scene. Ancient miners, using tools made of bronze, wood, and deer antlers, chipping away at the rock face deep inside a mountain, guided only by the dim light of torches. It was dangerous, back-breaking work. They dug tunnels and galleries hundreds of meters into the earth, creating a subterranean world dedicated to extracting this precious mineral. The incredible preservation at Hallstatt has given us a unique window into their lives. Because of the salt, organic materials that would normally decay have survived for millennia. Archaeologists have found perfectly preserved wooden staircases, leather-carrying sacks, fragments of textiles, and even the miners' leftover lunch. These discoveries tell a human story. We see their advanced carpentry skills in the construction of the mines and their practical, durable clothing. We even find evidence of their diet. It's a ghost of a world, frozen in time by the very substance they sought. The level of organization required to sustain these mining operations was immense. It points to a highly structured society with specialized labor, clear leadership, and a deep understanding of engineering and geology. The wealth generated from the Hallstatt mines was staggering. This wasn't just a local operation. Hallstatt became the center of a vast European trade network. Salt from these Alpine mines was traded far and wide. In return, luxury goods flowed into Hallstatt from all corners of the known world. Archaeologists have unearthed amber from the Baltic Sea, tin from Britain, elaborate bronze vessels, and even ivory from Africa and glassware from the Mediterranean. The sheer quantity and quality of these grave goods found in a Hallstatt cemetery are astonishing. Chieftains and elites were buried with incredible displays of wealth, showcasing their power and status, a status built entirely on the control of salt. This period, from roughly 800 to 450 BC, was so profoundly shaped by this salt trading culture that is now known as the Hallstatt period, the first phase of the European Iron Age. The influence of Hallstatt demonstrates a fundamental shift in prehistoric Europe. Control over a vital resource like salt was equivalent to controlling a modern-day oil supply. It created a powerful, wealthy elite that could command armies, fund artisans, and engage in long-distance diplomacy and trade. It spurred innovation, not just in mining technology, but also in transportation. To move salt efficiently, ancient people would have needed to develop better pathways, river transport, and maybe even wheeled carts. Salt was the catalyst. It connected disparate communities, allowing for the exchange of not just goods, but also ideas, technologies, and cultural practices. It literally lubricated the wheels of commerce and progress across the continent. Entire settlements grew and prospered along these salt roads, becoming bustling hubs of trade and cultural fusion. As the Iron Age progressed, other major salt mining centers emerged, like Hallstatt, also in Austria, and the regions of Lorraine in France and Cheshire in England. The Celts, who succeeded the Hallstatt culture, continued and expanded this salt trade. When the Romans arrived, they immediately understood the strategic importance of salt. They took control of existing salt works and established new ones, building their famous paved roads to transport salt efficiently across their empire. In fact, the word salary comes from the Latin word salarium, which was the payment Roman soldiers received to buy salt. That's how fundamental salt was to civilization. It was a form of currency, a strategic military asset, and a foundation of economic power. So, the next time you sprinkle a little salt on your food, take a moment to think about its incredible history. This humble crystal wasn't just a seasoning. It was the engine of prehistoric economies. It drove technological innovation, created vast trade networks, and gave rise to wealthy, powerful societies that laid the groundwork for modern Europe. The story of salt is a powerful reminder that sometimes the most everyday things have the most extraordinary stories, buried just beneath the surface, waiting to be discovered. It shows us how human ingenuity, faced with a basic need, can literally move mountains and change the world. Thanks so much for joining me on this journey into the past. I hope you found it as fascinating as I do. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you won't miss our next exploration. What other hidden histories should we uncover? Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, stay curious.